away. That's awesome.
All right. Welcome back, y'all. Another episode of the Unframe of Mind show where we're having those unconversations. The uncomfortable conversations.
We're not having conversations, obviously.
Look, it's so uncomfortable, I can't even get the friggin' line out. Uncomfortable conversations without the condom. Basically, that just means, if you haven't figured it out contextually, is that we are having conversations and we're not trying to protect our speech and try to keep it,
PC.
PC, yeah. So,
scary.
Recently in the news, we have heard all about this Colin Kaepernick fella.
Kaepernick, yeah.
Kaepernick. I don't even know. It's quite interesting actually, and
very interesting. There's no gray area in this.
For those of you who may not know, the basic idea here is apparently he was at a game. He did not stand up during the national anthem, and people are freaking out about it, and they're asking him what his reasonings were, and he said, well, as long as I live in a country that is treating people like shit, or treating black people specifically like shit.
Oppressing black people.
Yes, as long as we're living in a country that is oppressing black people, I don't feel the need to support my country. I'm not going to stand up. And so that's kind of the basic spark that started the whole thing.
Well, I think where he went wrong with this is using the word oppression. Now, if he stood up and said, hey, being unfair against the black community or, police brutality against the black community, might have gone over just a little bit better. But as soon as you use big words like oppression, people tend to lose their minds.
Yeah, because, I mean, that word, is very...
Saving it for later.
Love coffee. All right, so that word oppression is very triggering. But not in a I'm so triggered kind. No, it's a very attack kind of word. It's like it's like a word that automatically separates me from you. Like I am this guy and you are my enemy.
It has definitely a word that has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah,
considering the events of what America's gone through.
So what I found interesting was that I was talking to a whole bunch of different guys at work. Black guys and white guys, because I'm an equal opportunity conversationalist. I need a shirt that says that, equal opportunity. Anyway, that's awesome. Anyway, sorry.
Ideas.
So I got this wide array of opinions on it.
Was it actually a wide array? Whoa. I can't even talk right now. Wide array, or was it just one end and this end, just two separate ones, either with or against?
No, believe it or not, it was quite different, and I think I brought a different perspective to the whole thing that nobody was saying, and I'll bring that up later. But basically, what I was hearing was a lot of people were talking about. Basically, it was about a lynch mob going after this guy because he gets paid so much money and he needs to support his country and he needs to quit being so disrespectful to the troops that are over there fighting for our country and this and that, and basically it reminded me of a lynch mob minus pitchforks and torches. The way they were like just outraged about it, and so like, I can't believe this guy, he's such a it wasn't nothing about race. Of course, this opinion came from a white guy. Or a few white guys. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you got a lot of the black guys I was talking to, especially some of the more opinionated ones were more like, hey, this guy, he's using his position to advance the cause of black people, and I feel like more people ought to do that. More athletes ought to be like that. Say, hey, I believe in this, and I'm standing up for it, and I'm using my platform to promote that ideology.
The funny thing is, though, that when other celebrities or famous people do that, they're like, "Oh yeah, great job! You're doing what you're supposed to do." Blah blah blah. You're influencing people out there and all that other stuff. But as soon as he does it because police brutality, and he used the word oppress, is a hot topic right now.
Yeah,
everybody wants to shoot him down for it, and because he's not standing for the flag and, like you said, for our troops.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, is that everybody feels like he's being disrespectful, and because the company's paying him, his team, 49ers, is it? Mm-hmm. By the way, FYI, I know jack shit about football. I don't even know how to play. So this story is I'm only aware of it because it's in the it's out there. But
well, if anything, he's not disrespecting the country or its troops. He's going along the same lines of it, whether it's something you agree with or you disagree with. I just think it's a big thing because people are disagreeing with him.
Yeah, that's just it.
That's the main reason why we have those freedoms, to protect the things that you disagree with.
Yeah, I've heard like some people are saying, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with him, but he's got, we fought for the right of this guy to say what's on.
Just because he's not standing for the flag doesn't mean he's disrespecting the troops or anything like that.
Right.
If anything, he's using what they fought and died for precisely how he should.
You would think, but everybody wants to start freaking out.
And the biggest way to protest isn't just to hold up a sign on a street corner, oh, I'm protesting something. It's to make a splash and get people talking about it, which is what he's doing. And, of course, not standing for the flag is a big thing. And look how big it turned out. Now, if he would have said this just in a press conference and wore a special stripe on his jersey or something like that, it would be a big deal.
Yeah, probably wouldn't, no.
So he chose a smart platform and a smart way to do it to get people talking about it. But people aren't talking about the issue so much as they are if him not standing for the flag. So his position kind of got lost amongst that.
Yeah, I think it really did. And one of the things that I'm sitting here thinking is, how many people are out there, the keyboard warriors, that are just so pissed off and just looking for an excuse. They're looking for that green light that lets them just go, oh, I'm so pissed. Ah, you're an asshole. La, la, la,
SJWs.
He's fucking vomiting all sorts of this bullshit. And they're just looking for it, and they finally found it, and like, yeah, I can stand for this, and this guy's an asshole, la, 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 and I'm gonna write to, it's like, come on, guys, come on, it's not that serious. It's really not. Now, one of the things, my particular perspective is this, regardless of what side you're on, should not have been an issue at all, because in the grand scheme of things, of all the problems going on in the world, first of all, why are we worried about whether one guy stands up for the fucking Pledge of Allegiance? The national anthem, rather. This guy, apparently, from what I understand, he's been doing this for mini games. There's just, he wasn't making a big deal of it. He was just sitting down and kind of doing almost a silent protest. And finally, somebody noticed, the right person noticed, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal.
But yet they were being pissed at the BLM movement because when they were protesting, they were shutting down highways and stuff like that, saying, no, you're not supposed to protest that way. So he protests quietly and peacefully, and they're still saying you're not supposed to do it that way.
Yeah. So I personally, I will stand up, but I'm not going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not going to say the national anthem. Both of them. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put my hand on my heart, because in my heart, I'm not a citizen. I don't feel like, I'm not into this nationalist mindset that says, oh, well, there's this flag, we all got to follow it. It's like the gods of the state are not any more real than the gods of mythology. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's all made up constructs, and it's designed to control people. So,
well, my question is, though, since you have this opinion, do you love your country that you live in?
Okay, so go in that direction. I am happy that I'm here, that I was born into this country versus the many other ones that are way worse off. We are a good country, but I don't feel like that's the direction long term in the future we need to go to ever see any kind of semblance of world peace. I'm not talking about necessarily a globalist society either that's all dictated under one or two controlling powers or whatever. I'm talking about, all this shit needs to be gotten rid of. I guess what I'm trying to say is I respect Colin's right to stand up, his ability to stand up, or in this case sit down and protest and have his opinions. As misguided as his opinions are, he's allowed to do that. I'm allowed to do that. I may have different reasons for it, but we should be allowed to do that without everybody freaking the fuck out and acting like everybody's being disrespectful. I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going on here.
Well, me personally, I love my country. Mm-hmm. But there are things within these borders that are things that need to be taken care of. And we're sitting here arguing about an NFL player. But no one's worried about that the Federal Reserve does. I showed you this video earlier, that the Federal Reserve has no idea or has no investigations going on to these $8-9 trillion that they seem to have misplaced. Nobody's carrying that the Clinton Foundation can't be investigated for fraud or anything. Nobody cares anymore that Hillary got away with deleted emails I mean, I think we're all focusing on the wrong thing. And the reason why this has gotten so big is because people care more about their NFL team than they do about the state of this country. And that's why it's a big thing. Because it's happening in the NFL. Now, if this was some celebrity or something doing it, it might have gotten a little bit of attention, but I don't think it would have gone as big.
Yeah.
Because people are just like, NFL, my team, da-da-da-da-da. So many people show up and show their support for it. But when there's something seriously going on within the government or something wrong with the country, everybody's just like, oh, okay, well, they'll take care of it.
Yeah, but that's hard. That's hard work to think about those things. You know, you nobody wants to think. They just want to be fed this narrative. And that's what I think is really going on here, is the mainstream media has this narrative they need to push right now. And that narrative, not of nationalism at this particular point, but that narrative is that we are at war with each other. Blacks and whites are at war with each other. The rich and the poor, they're at war with each other. Government, we're here to help, and we're here to make everything all better. And any news story they can cling on to and promote and push and throw that in front of our faces, that pushes those, just keeps fueling those flames and gets people pissed off at each other and keeps dividing us. That's the shit that's going to continue to get pushed, especially during election cycles, when the Democrats specifically really rely on these divide and conquer tactics, because they're the guys that are coming and save you from yourselves. We're here to help.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was to say, I think one thing that definitely took away from his message was when he was in practice and they showed the pictures of his socks where pigs are dressed up in police uniforms. That kind of took away from his message, because now you're sitting there saying, well, what a lot of people say, it's not okay to attack an entire group, because it's not the entire group, it's people within that group.
Right.
But then posing this message, all cops are pigs out of socks, you're attacking an entire group, but it's not an entire group. And a lot of people out there, they're going to argue, all cops are bad. Even cops who don't stand up for the bad, or who don't go after the bad cops, they're bad cops too. Right. Well, you know what? There's a lot of shit that goes on in this country, and you don't fucking stand up for it. For guess what? We're all in the same boat as the people, as Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
we're all in the same boat as the government, and as Congress, who get who don't get arrested for domestic violence and cocaine use. You're not standing up for that shit, so that makes you a bad person too.
So the reason I said his ideology might be a little misguided, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, if I'm in his shoes, all right, I'm a half white, half black guy. I was adopted by an incredibly white family by the time I was 6 weeks old.
Pasty white. I
live in an area that has around 5% or so black population today, which was even less back when he moved to Wisconsin or something like that. So first of all, he's not surrounded by the roughest parts of the black community. Then he's a professional football player. You got practices all the fucking time. You're sitting there going to games, traveling. The amount of time he has to actually. I mean, he just does he's like most folks. We're working, man. We ain't got time to sit there and dig into the intricacies of what's really going on.
So he's getting fed this narrative.
So yes,
through news.
Right. So he watches a little bit of news. Keeps eating this shit up. Catches a little blip here, blip there, talking to his friends or whatever, and he doesn't have the time, or probably doesn't really care, to really look into the nuances of the issues. So it's what we're seeing is a result of him just regurgitating back the propaganda that he's been fed, even though he's not lived it. He's not studied it, as far as I know. I don't know what he's actually studied, but that's kind of the perspective I'm kind of looking at it from. So I don't know, man. I don't think his opinions need to be invalidated this strongly.
Right. Unless
it serves that narrative, that propaganda that is being forced on us all, or fed to us rather. It's ridiculous. But that's just
It's just another way of making something that's really trivial become something that's really big. Okay, yeah. I mean, I've read reports where veterans are for him and veterans who are against him, but the ones I've read that are for him, they all fought for your right of freedom of speech and protest. Well, the reason why they're against them is not because he didn't stand for the flag, even though that's what they say. The reason they're against him is because of why he's not standing. for the national anthem. Because as any patriot or any veteran or anybody, even citizens who stand for the Constitution, know that you should have the right to protest and voice your opinion however you like. Well, not however you like, but, within those constructs.
As long as it's not hurting nobody, which he clearly was not.
So, I mean, some people understand that even though they might not like his opinion and the reason why he's not standing for the flag and the national anthem, they're okay with it and respect it because, they fought for him to voice his opinion. Yeah. So people, I don't think necessarily it's not him standing for the flag. I think it's what he's standing for. Yeah. As far as the police brutality thing, that nobody really wants to say, oh no, that's not the reason. It's because he didn't stand for it. No, it's not that. It's because you don't agree with what he's not standing for.
I think that's what makes this real interesting is we are, even us, we're sitting here talking about it, and we're focused on that issue. Yeah. Even though this appears to be this multi-layer kind of issue here, is really not. It's, in my mind, it's pretty simple. It's, hey, we need to fan the flames of racism. So let's look at this guy who is clearly on one side over the other. And let's stir that pot up a little bit.
Any veteran, any citizen, anybody who is a citizen of this country needs to know he's doing what he should. Or what? Let me rephrase that. He's protesting. He's voicing his opinion. He has the right to. Just because you don't like the way he's doing it, you have no say about that part. Because if you truly uphold your freedoms and your rights, you're not going to have a problem with him not standing for the national anthem. You should go ahead and attack the issue, not the way he protests it.
That's true. What do you think about it? Was he being an asshole? Does he deserve to lose his job? Should he have some kind of consequences for this? And here's an interesting question I'm going to pose: should the owner of his team have the right to fire him based on his beliefs if they disagree?
Okay, this is my take on that. Technically, the NFL is a private organization.
Right.
But they also get tax breaks. They're also set up as a charitable donation to where your tax money pays for a lot of the stuff that goes on within that stadium as far as building new stadiums. So since he's receiving tax money and he's a charitable organization, I don't necessarily think he should be able to be fired for it, considering that you also have people who are on trial for murder, drug, domestic violence within the NFL. Mm-hmm. And those people are still playing.
That's interesting.
So, Michael Vick got caught and he came back.
I almost forgot to mention this. I have this theory. I can't prove this theory, but I was just sitting here thinking about this. From people that I've talked to who know a little more about his actual game stats and his abilities, they say he's not really that great of a player. So what I'm thinking is, okay, is it possible that maybe he has tried to set this thing up and make a media frenzy out of this, knowing that he's probably about to get his contract revoked, or maybe they're not going to renew his contract when it comes up?
Well, I think they just signed him in the past few months for this. Yeah.
Did they? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the specifics, but it's just the idea that maybe he's setting it up so that if they do let him go,
you're to say it's for this reason.
Now we can spin it as a race issue. Now it's a problem.
So now we're against him, but then they're going to fire him, and they're going to say it's because he was black and he was standing for BLM.
And even though they're like, no, he's a shitty player, look at his stats, they're like, no, you're a racist because he said this.
They're getting both sides off of this.
Like, what the fuck? I'm just like, I don't know. It's just a fun theory to play with. It probably has no truth whatsoever, but just a thought experiment.
Until like 2 months from now it happens.
Yeah.
Or it come February and they actually cut him.
Yeah, because if it is a private company and they are losing a lot of money as a result of his actions or because of the media that, the shitstorm that's become this media frenzy, should they have the right to fire him and replace him with somebody else that's maybe not going to stir up the pot so much? So, it's a business. They got to make money, Just a thought.
I don't know. All I know is that it's a trivial argument. Let's focus on what he's standing for or not standing for, not the way he's protesting.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
can call us assholes if you want to. I don't care.
I'm probably an asshole. I'll let him speak for himself. Whatever. Anyway, head on over to unframeofmind.com, and we've got the new Unframe of Mind Freedom Dictionary, the unofficial Unframe of Mind Freedom Dictionary available.
It'll probably
for you
be
guys.
unofficial for a while.
Yeah. But it basically it's just a quick glossary of some fun terms that we might use in the show and stuff you can look at to share with your friends.
I would say also if you got
it's fun
any
stuff.
different definitions or different words would have double meanings or whatever, feel free to let us know about them. We might use them in cite you in it.
I've definitely got that as something in the book. If you do come up with another idea to put in the book, let us know and we will give you credit for it. We're looking for all sorts of witty, sarcastic, and also true definitions for terms that we're used to
definitions.
using. Truth definitions. All right.
Signing off.
Glad to see you. Hope to see you again later. Okay, that's the most awkward outro ever.